Well, hi there, everyone, and welcome to the VIP Trade Room with Roger Scott and Matt Horton. Today is Thursday, November 20th, and my name is Raleigh White, and I'm coming to you from a cloudy, overcast, hopefully rainy day here in Austin, Texas. We never complain if we get a chance for rain, so bring it on. Anyway, folks, I'm going to be your moderator today. And in today's session, Roger's going to be covering a range of important topics with a special focus on his process for generating pit trades. What he's going to do today is he's going to walk us step by step through what his daily routine is. He's going to talk about when he likes taking debit spreads versus normal calls and puts. He's going to share how he decides whether or not to swing or day trade an entry. And then he's going to tell us when volume figures into his selection process and how he selects the best profit targets. And as a bonus, he's going to review some of the more recent pit trades and also hunt for new ones live in front of us all. Anyway, folks, if you have any questions during Roger's presentation, please type them in the chat window and we'll address them periodically throughout the session so as to not interfere with Roger's presentation. Also, guys, remember that the chat is open to everyone. And remember, we have some ground rules. First of all, always be kind and supportive in your postings. Number two, keep to the topic. Number three, no political discussions allowed whatsoever. And number four, folks, please keep your side conversations to a minimum so that the rest of us can focus on the education and the information that Roger's going to be sharing. Because, guys, he's taking time out of his busy day to help us get an edge in the market and to become more confident and consistent in our trading activities. Now, for those of you that were with us this morning at 8 o'clock Eastern Time for Roger's pre-market briefing, we would have noted that there were several key catalysts that we needed to be aware of today. In the chip sector, once again, NVIDIA up 4% after very impressive earnings yesterday. In the consumer front, we saw that Walmart was going to be releasing earnings before the market opened. On the tech front, we had MCI up 5%, and PanW, however, was down 3% coming into the open. And on the finance front, we noted that NASDAQ was up 1%. On the Fed front, we've got five speakers talking today, folks, five of them spread out throughout the day. And we're expecting September employment data to come out, as well as the Philly Manufacturing Index information. Now, for those of you that are wondering, why do we even focus on these catalysts? Well, we look at it this way. We're looking at, is there critical news that's known or will be known during the trading session, but is not yet priced into the market? That makes it volatile. So the chip sector, consumer, tech, finance, even Fed, these are volatility flashpoints, and we just need to be aware of them as we make decisions as to what we want to trade and invest in the markets. Now, on the small cap front, Roger identified five tickers for us today to keep an eye on: AUID, MNDR, BNKK, MAGN, and SOND. So let's shift over to my charts and let's take a look and see how these small caps are performing. So if we go here, if we take a look up here in the upper left-hand corner, and by the way, I'm looking at everything on 15-minute bars, and this is my Thinkorswim charting platform. Normally, you're probably used to seeing things with a black background. I don't like the black background, so I just changed it to white. Anyway, in the upper left-hand corner, we have AUID. The pre-market high was right here at $3. We can see that it opened up and it's down here at 176, not even making a move in this direction, and I personally doubt that it will. Right next to it, we have MNDR. The pre-market high was $6.30. It's opened up and it's just stayed here right around $2.50 to $2.80. It also doesn't appear to me like it's going to make a move, but you can never tell. In the lower left-hand corner, we have BNKK. And here we see that the pre-market high was right here at 27 cents. It's trading at about 17 cents at this point in time on diminished volume. Not sure if we're going to see anything there. Next to it here, we have MAGN. The pre-market high was 1272, and right here at the open, it looked like it was going to make a run here and potentially come through that, but it got kind of close. Huffed, as Roger says, it huffed and puffed and decided nothing. Fell back down into this area. Not sure what's going to happen there. And then lastly, here we have SOND. Okay, and its pre-market high was 35 cents. You can see we're trading at about 14, almost 15 cents here. Nothing much going on there whatsoever. On my other charts, I have TLT, I have the SPY, and look at the SPY, man, it took off above yesterday's high and then has just been on a precipitous downfall ever since. The same with QQQ down here. It opened up after a brisk overnight high and then has just been selling off like a dog. So anyway, I'm sure Roger's going to be talking about this a lot more. Now, let me go back to the regular presentation here. And before I leave the small caps, I just want you all to know that when Roger identifies these tickers as potential small cap trades, he's looking not only for price action, but he's looking for extreme volume in pre-market trading, like 100 times what its normal volume is. And that's what catches his eye and what ultimately ends up as a small cap watch list item. Also, remember, folks, the small caps are an animal of their own. They're not invested in by the institutions and things of that nature. It's just retail traders, and therefore they can move very, very quickly and randomly, regardless of what the broader world is doing. Also, folks, if you consider these small cap trades, only look at them during normal market hours. And if you don't have a fill by around 2 p.m. Eastern time, don't even think about it. All right. And also, folks, if you get into one of these trades, never hold them overnight. The risk is just not worth it. Okay. Now, as it relates to the large cap stocks, we can see that there were several shorts and longs that Roger shared with us. There were 10 short stocks to take a look at, and there were 12 longs. Now, on the short side, what was interesting, Roger said, one of the things that's interesting about a short is if we see a short aggressively selling off at a point in time when the markets are basically raging higher, that means that institutions are more than likely liquidating their shares in these stocks. So something to be aware of is that these could be very, very solid shorts in the face of the fact that the market was generally moving higher coming into the open. Now, as far as the longs are concerned, it's kind of like the inverse. These are good looking setups here, but he said, look, guys, at the open of today's market, everything's going to look great. Okay, because of all the momentum in the overnight. And he says, but be careful. Just be careful here because sometimes it could be just a little too glittery. But those were his words of wisdom as he gave us these 22 tickers to take a look at today. Now, as far as his closing comments are concerned, guys, well, once again, the futures were up big time into the open. Thank you, NVIDIA. Thank you, NVIDIA, and your robust earnings. We also noted that the chips naturally we're leading the markets higher, and with the SMH, once again, that's the chip ETF, was above the 8-day moving average. However, he did note that bonds were low in their range, and even though the VIX had come back a little bit, it was still above 20. These are little warning signs here. He also noted that the RSP was below the 100 moving average. The RSP, basically, once again, it's like the SPY normalized, all right? And what it means is that the actual markets are not as bullish as the SPY is leading us on to. In other words, we've got a sugar rush here from NVIDIA and potentially Walmart, but let's keep that into context. He said, as a result of that, just be careful because the markets will gap up at the open, and please, no fear of missing out trades because once again, it's going to be seductive. It's going to be seductive to say, hey, I just want to ride this thing higher. Ignore that. His recommendation was don't do anything for the first hour. Other than liquidating positions, why not take profits? And let the market just really declare and show its hand before you do anything with it. So we've got a great group of folks here today. We've got a ton of people piling in, and Roger has an outstanding agenda set up for today. He really wants to take you and show you exactly from A to Z how he basically sets up to get ready and ultimately trade the markets in the pit. He's going to walk you step by step through what his daily routine is. He's also going to share with you when he likes to take a debit spread versus a normal call or a put. He's going to tell us when he decides to swing or day trade an entry because we have a lot of questions around that. He's also going to talk about when volume figures into his selection process and how he handles that. He's also going to tell us how he selects his best profit targets. And as a special bonus, he's going to review some of the recent pit trades and live. We're going to hunt for some new opportunities that we can all participate in. Now, if you've got any questions during Roger's presentation, please type them in the chat window and we'll address them periodically throughout the session so as to not interfere with Roger's presentation. And remember, folks, that the chat is open to everyone and we have some ground rules here, folks. Always be kind and supportive in your postings. Number 2, keep to the topic. Number 3, no political discussions allowed whatsoever. Number 4, keep your side conversations to a minimum, folks, so that the rest of us can focus on the education and the information that Roger's sharing. Because when you think about it, Roger's taking time out of his very busy day to give us an edge in the market and to help us all become more confident and consistent in our trading activities. And with that, folks, let's go ahead and say hi to the team. Let's say hi to Matt. Let's say hi to Roger. Gentlemen, I know you're there.
Yes. Yes. 1 second. Hold on. Let me just turn this
No
on.
problem whatsoever. I know,
Hey,
Roger, you
there you
still,
go.
There we go.
there we go. Look at you guys looking fresh. Interesting day, huh? You know, Roger, I was thinking about your comments, and I mean, you're just so sage, man. This is not your first rodeo, and it's obvious. But here we were, you said, look, the markets are going to open, there's going to be a gap up, things are going to look glitzy, etc. But let's just wait for that first hour or more to see what's going to happen. We had all those fireworks, and then it's like, boom, somebody rained on the parade,
Yeah. Yes. And I actually said something else. I'm not sure if you heard it or not, but I was very, very specific this morning. And I said that I actually gave this example, and I hope people listened to me when I said it. NVIDIA is like a dog that hasn't been walked in a week. It's going to get very, very excited. Hey, Matt, why am I so yellow? Do you know? Today I'm like really yellow. It looks like, you can look at it afterwards, but that's what?
What camera are you on?
Oh, that's a good question. No, I'm on the right camera.
Okay.
When I do this, my arm, it's
There
weird.
you go.
It's like,
That's
yeah, it's like my color, it's like it changes right here when I put my arm up. That's really weird. Anyways, let that be the worst thing that happens. People can see me. That's the most important thing. But it is very strange. But so what maybe it's my monitor. Yeah. But what I wanted to say was that, and I said this to you guys, NVIDIA is like a dog that hasn't been walked in a week. And the market, mostly the bond market and the economy is the economy is the owner. And the dog is going to go home when the owner wants to go home. The dog will jump around, do its thing, and then, the owner will listen to him for a while, and then when the owner gets tired of him, the dog can do all this if he wants, but ultimately he's going home. So, and I gave you that example today specifically because of where we're at. And I don't think I could have given you a better example.
No, I think it was an awesome analogy, Roger. I think we could all we could all relate to it.
Yeah, because this is that dog right here. Ooh, I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. Nah, the owner doesn't. You're not that exciting. We're back to where we were. We're back to where we were. And folks, I spent an hour this morning. You can't see my screen, can you?
Not yet.
No.
Okay. This is what I wanted to show you. Not Clyde. No. This is where's my screen? Here we go.
There you go. We're looking at Dash at this point.
Okay. This is the dog right here. This is the intraday 5-minute data. The dog is getting excited. Earnings on NVIDIA. We want to go up, 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 up. And I said, and this is the market. Actually, this is the market right here. Right here. This is the market right here. This is the market. This is what we're dealing with right here. Okay. This we're this right here, this gap here isn't going to make the market. Nvidia will make the dog, make the owner a little tired, but ultimately that dog is going to get walked and that dog is going to go home and he's going to, he's going to make a little noise, he's going to huff around, he's going to get tired, he's going to take his nap and he's going home. And that's what this is right here. And I gave that exact example for you guys in the morning. I said Nvidia is not going to drive the market. Nvidia will huff, it'll puff, but the market's going to do what the market's going to do. And again, folks, the problem we have right now is right here. Keep reminding you of it as much as I can, because the more you keep your eyes on it, the more you keep your eyes on it, the more you will understand the gravity of our environment right now.
Yeah.
And that gravity is right here.
It's kind of like, what happens after you have a sugar rush.
Exactly.
You go into a coma.
And that's why I told folks, I said, folks, let's not, and ultimately, this is what we're trading right now.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a head and you have a shoulders. And last I checked, and by the way, everything I'm saying to you right now, everything I'm telling you right now, I've mentioned in the morning and I've been mentioning it all day on Telegram. But here, look at the VIX. The VIX just went to 19. It never went below 19. We were above 20 most of the day. We gapped down, and from the moment we opened, we've been going up.
Climbing, yeah.
And the market has been pretty much choppy. Looked like it wanted to give you that false breakout, and then what did we do? We came right back down. If you think that I wasn't expecting it, did I go long yesterday? Did I go long this morning? No. What did I do, guys, in the pit? Which way did I go? Let's see. Which way did I go? A lot of bananas today. A lot of bananas in the pit today. A lot of bananas. So I went, let's short MSTR at 11:05, an hour ago. We got a little resistance here. Got a couple of bananas here. So Clyde made his appearance, and he was negotiating with the monkey right here. And I think Clyde won. I said to take a profit, and then we kept going down and down and down and down and down, and now I don't even know where it is right now, but it ended up being a good trade. So we didn't go long. We went short. All right. So folks, please, when you come into my, if you were in my morning show today, none of this would have been a surprise for you. All right? None of those would have been a surprise for you. None of it.
Well said, Roger. You're exactly right.
None of it. We have timestamps. I've said it many times. Not only did I say it, Raleigh, let me show you what I was doing this morning. I was drawing dirty pictures. Look at this.
I know. This is great when you do this. Guys, if you're not on Roger's Telegram, man, you're really missing something here.
So look at 10:13 in the morning. Is that clear or is that not clear? How clear is that, Raleigh?
Crystal clear. I love it.
That's a 10 in the morning, okay? Now, what about this one? How about this one? This is the daily chart with the 8-day EMA.
Yep.
Which we have crossed. This was at 10:18 in the morning. This is free. I did nothing. All right. Then how about a little Omar, nice $5 million man. And then I show you before we break, look, hey guys, the biggest bars today are both red bars.
Mm-hmm.
See, it's one thing talking about all of this after the fact. We were talking about it 3 hours, 2 hours, and an hour before it happened. Hold on, we're not done yet. Keep an eye on levels on SMH today, as we're right here at the bottom. Keep an eye on these levels. Why did we go long in AZP? Klein, Matt trades AZP. Why don't you ask him that?
We went long because we got a long signal.
He's the guy,
on
you're
AZP.
asking the wrong guy. Yeah. All right. But he had good reasons. Oh, the first trade was beautiful. We had divergence towards the SPY and the Vold one. That was a great trade. So here, then we break down at 11 o'clock, and here we hit the 50-day. SPY's breaking the 50-day, which is not great. Banana in the tailpipe from Clyde. Level, our first breakdown level right here. This is what real market looks like right now at 11:30. The real market, RSP. Not the first one, Phil. The first one made money. Matt, the first trade made money, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The first trade made money. It made good money. Yeah. And then the second trade erased what the first trade made, and then we were zero, and then the third trade took us under today. The day's not over yet, though. The day's not over.
These were good signals. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And by the way, folks, this does not usually happen in bull markets. Each of these is a 5-minute bar. If you think this is my grandmother selling her Amazon stock, no. I mean, look at it now. Look at this thing. Yeah. But the reason, you actually had a long signal on the Alpha Zone Pro.
I did.
Yeah, no. I know you did.
Yep.
He did. All right. And by the way, taking 2-point loss with this volatility is not a big thing. If we were, I mean, this is movement. This is institutional selling pressure, folks. Roger, why is it happening? Well, I explained it to you on Monday. I explained it to you on Tuesday. I explained it to you on Wednesday. I think today is Thursday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Today's Thursday, right? All right. Neckline. Bond market is not looking good. 97% Fed is going to lower rates, less than 30% this morning. Everything if you want me to explain it to you, I already explained to you the reason for this drop 4 hours ago. Okay? All you got to do is rewind the tape and watch it, and I'll explain it to you for a while. Now, let's talk about the market right now. Where do we go from here? That's the more important thing, right? We're already here. We can't relive the I told you so moment forever. So where are we right now? We're not at a great place right now. We're exactly where we were yesterday, which pretty much tells me this whole NVIDIA Michigaz was just Michigaz. It was just nonsense. It was just a smokescreen. It was the dog taking a nice little run, and the owner's like, yeah, but nothing changed. The weather's still the same. I'm going back to watch TV. We're back down here. It's not and by the way, it has nothing to do with AI. It has to do with our economy. Okay. It could be the unknown, that the Fed data is still unknown. That's a huge drag on the economy. Okay. We don't know. We can't even speculate because we don't know which way to speculate. So this is a lot broader based than NVIDIA. NVIDIA beat earnings every AI. Even look at this. Now I'm calling them AI. Every chip stock right now is doing well. Now, is this going to continue? We need to bottom out. We need to have a capitulation. We haven't had a capitulation yet. The next support level is the 100-day moving average. I'm expecting a lot of volatility today, but I'll be very honest with you. I don't think we're done yet with the movement. I think we can move some. I think we can move some more. I think we can bottom out here and start moving back up because volatility loves volatility, and volatility usually works both ways. But I'm going to tell you something. This right here, FOMO Joe took it up. Institutions sold the living heck out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Great day trading market, by the way.
With some gusto, too.
With some gusto. Yes, thank you. With some gusto. He talks. Yes, with some gusto. By the way, tick. Just so you know, tick right now is negative 700, but it's actually moving up. Look, the lows are moving up. So it's telling us that this selling pressure that we're seeing right now is starting to weaken. Okay? The gas pedal is not being pressed. There's definitely selling pressure. The volume is coming into the short side. But the gas pedal is not really, the gas pedal is improving. There, you could see it right here. See the lows are getting higher? When it goes below 800, that means there's really selling pressure. Now, if this comes down, that's one thing, but if this continues going higher, that means there's less pressure on the gas. Okay? Excellent. How do we understand why tick is important? Michael, it's a great question. And I've explained this several times, but I'll explain it again because it's very easy. It'll take me a second and it's very valuable. If you see movement like this, like we're seeing right now in the SPY, where's my SPY chart? I should have held on to that monster trade, MSTR trade. Here, let me just show you this right here. Here. That's the SPY right here. That's the SPY. That's real selling pressure. That's not monkey business. That's real selling pressure. Real selling pressure. Okay? When you see real selling pressure like this in the market, or even one big candle, okay? What you want to do is you want to keep your eye on the tick, because the tick tells you when somebody's pressing on the gas pedal. In other words, they're saying, we're selling, we want it, we're stronger selling. So if we're going down and tick continues rolling down like this, right? Like this, that means it's the pressure on the sellers is increasing. But when you see selling in the market, but when you see the tick making higher lows, again, I don't know how this is going to close. It's a 5-minute candle. But assuming this is going to close above this, that means that there's less, the gas pedal is being pressed less, which means we should start seeing, pretty soon, we should start seeing less selling pressure, because that's what it reverts to. This is telling you if it's your grandma selling or if it's an institution selling. That's what it's telling you at any given second. That's what it's telling you. And when I say your grandma, what I'm saying is somebody's selling 100 shares or 1,000 shares versus, a million shares. And again, this is all in real time. So this is the steering wheel, okay? This tells you okay, so let me show you. Let me show you. Let's say you get into a car, okay, on a flat surface or maybe slightly declining surface, and you put your car in neutral, okay? And you take your steering wheel and you go all the way to the right. What's your car going to do? Nothing. Just going to kind of go like this, right? But what happens when you press the gas pedal? It's going to start doing wheelies, right? That's what this is. This is the gas pedal. This is the steering wheel. This is the gas pedal. If this is decline, this is the stocks that are declining. When this declines, it has to project itself here. If this makes higher, and I'm not saying it's going to make higher highs, but if this makes higher highs, this will have less power. It's telling you how strong it's telling you how much power somebody's pushing the gas pedal when they have the steering wheel pressed all the way. Jason said, just had my best one-day trading, 15K. You're welcome, Jason. I'm so glad to hear that. Makes me very happy to hear that. It really makes me happy to hear that. Let me just move my charts around so I could see what the heck is going on here. Oh,
VIX just hit 28, by the way.
Yeah, that's ugly. See, now we're getting into panic. And that's the thing about VIX. By the way. Take my jacket off. When the VIX gets to a certain point, it's hysteria, okay? And I think I've explained that to you as well. Let me just show it to you. When VIX gets to 20, that means there's fear. That means people are smelling fear. When VIX gets to 25, that's, about 25, that means there's they're now living the fear, not anticipating, but actually living the fear. But when it starts getting a little too high, that's when people start fear, just overwhelming fear. Stops getting triggered. People taking, I call it people jumping out of the balcony syndrome. And I don't mean any. I'm not suggesting anybody jump out of a balcony. What I'm saying is it tends to irrational fear. Irrational fear. That's a good word for it. Irrational fear. Yeah, blood in the water level of fear. Panic. Irrational fear. When people are just fear for the sake of of being fearful. They're not being objective with the fear. And we're approaching those levels right now. 30 is approaching those levels. So when you see that, and when you see that, and again, see how this is see how tick is moving up. That's telling us this doesn't have much firepower right here. See how you're seeing it in real time? Think of it like this. This is the steering wheel, and that's the gas pedal. The steering wheel alone, you can't really go very far with your steering wheel, and you can't really go very far with your gas pedal. But together, you can kind of see what we're doing. And you can measure this in real time right here. That's what this is good for. So to answer your question one step further, if I see the SPY just doing nothing, and it's a quiet day, there's no news, let's say the SPY is not in the environment we're in right now. VIX is like 15. There's no weird stuff going on. There's no earnings. There's no NVIDIA. Volatility's low. And I see a huge 5-minute candle like that on the SPY. And I'll come here. And if I see this going up or basically just sitting and doing nothing, I'll use that as a buying candle on a stock, or Matt may use it for a buying candle on the SPY. Anyways, Matt, if you're not in a trade, can you hook me up?
Mm-hmm.
Roger, a question that came up earlier, and I think it's a really good question. It was, if you're looking at these 6 market internals, is there any one of these that you consider to be more important than the others, or does it really all work together? I mean, when you look at them, where do your eyes go first?
It depends. If it's during the day, I'm going to look over here at the Volt. It just depends on what's happening. So let me walk you through it, okay? And I'm actually gonna thanks, I appreciate it. I'll actually walk you through it so you guys can understand it, okay? So the first thing I do. So remember, I spend an hour and a half with you guys in the morning, and that's the first thing I do after I wake up. So I don't have any inner market analysis. Everything I do, all my knowledge that I accumulate happens between 7:30 and 8 o'clock. Then I go live with you guys at 8 o'clock. So by 9 o'clock, 9:15, I'm driving to work, and I have a pretty good idea of what I think the market is going to do at the open. And usually the first thing I look at, and I mean the first thing I look at when I get into the office is right here, is ADD. Because the ADD is going to tell me how many stocks are opening above yesterday's close or below yesterday's close.
Okay.
So let's say I'm expecting a really strong bullish day in the market, okay? And the market gaps up like crazy, and I see that ADD is at positive 200. I'll be like, nah, it's a chop. This is bullshit. Unless the ADD starts coming up, we're just going to come right back down. This is a false breakout. So for the opening, for the first 5-10 minutes, I'm looking at that ADD and I'm not looking at anything. Oh, I'm looking at bonds and I'm looking at VIX, but I'm looking at ADD more than anything because I want to get that information. I want to see if the opening is matching what I'm expecting in terms of the ADD. I want to. So for example, let's say ADD opens up at negative 1500. I'm going to say, okay, we're in a trend day right now. I have to take this market really seriously. There could be a lot of stuff that's going on for the first half hour. I gotta be like glued to the screen. I'm not gonna go to the bathroom. I'm gonna wait here. I'm gonna start taking notes. This is a big day. If I see the ADD at negative 100, and that means there's just nothing. There's nothing going on for the first half hour of the day. There's nothing to do. So the ADD is telling me, affirms or negates that what I think is going to happen at the open for me. Okay. So all that stuff we talk about at the pre-market must watch, the ADD is kind of confirming or denying that.
Okay.
Then as the market after the market, after the first half hour, if I basically want to know, am I dealing with something? Am I dealing with a trend day or a range day? That's what the ADD is telling me. If the ADD, and this is really important for me for the trades that I'm about to look for in the pit, because I need to know, do I look for longs? Do I look for shorts? Am I wasting my time? And most of the time I'm wasting my time. So the ADD, I want it to be in the I want it 800-900 up or down. If it's not 800, 900 up or down, then the market's just not, you don't have that, you don't have enough stocks. You don't have enough stocks making a move to make a determinant factor. Now you see how this is start running up, not down.
Mm-hmm.
See how this stopped moving down. Remember, I told you, even though this looks like it's just going to bleed down, this is not making. This is going up. That's that. There's no down ticking right now in the market. We're up ticking right now in the market. Okay. Anyway, but again, point was I told you about this 10 minutes ago. That was the point, not after the fact.
Right. So it's interesting once again that's what you're really looking at that point in time when you come in, just to confirm your suspicion as to what's happening in the market. And
Yeah,
from there, as you start to look at real opportunities, when do you then look over at the Volt? When do you?
The Volt, I usually give the Volt about 15, 20 minutes to start moving.
Okay.
You got to give it a little time. And the more time you give it, the better. It's very, very finicky in the morning, first thing in the morning. So the Volt isn't really that important till about 10 o'clock.
Okay.
And so between 9:30 and 10, I'm kind of managing my position, seeing if I need to liquidate anything, seeing if any of the sectors in the Dow Jones, seeing here. I'm checking to see right here what sector is above 1%, either up or down. By the way, I give you this information for free in the Telegram channel at 9:30 when we open. Markets open. That's the first thing I usually post, because I want to see which sector is the outlier. What industry is the outlier? Okay. So I make a mental note out of that, because what happens is this: if I see 7 sectors green and the market's down and it's just one sector that's causing the uproar, usually that's not going to sustain the market unless it's technology or financials. So again, I look at this, I'm trying to get the big picture at this point. The first half hour, I'm trying to get the big picture. How are the bonds reacting when the market's open? Is volatility going down? See, volatility started going down. Notice when this started turning up, volatility started going down.
Mm-hmm.
Just FYI.
Yeah, and this is being tracked real time. What's your time frame on those charts? Are those 5-minute bars that you're looking at?
These are all 5 minutes.
Okay.
These are all 5-minute bars.
Okay.
5-minute bars. So then after that, now about 15, 20 minutes have passed by. Okay.
Okay.
So now I'm getting a feel for the market. I'm starting to realize, okay, my thesis was right, or I was totally off. I will say that about 85% of the time, I usually am right about what the market will do. And if you guys have been watching me in the morning, you will say, yes, he does. He's usually correct. Scary, actually, how correct I am. But because I'm looking at price action, not some stupid indicators or listening to CNBC. HG says 100%. Well, thank you. I don't know about that, but let's just say 80. If I could predict the market 80%, I'm good.
I'll settle for damn good. Yep.
Yeah. So I look at my morning level. So the first 15, 20 minutes, I'm just really trying to get my footing. Okay. That's what I'm doing. And then what I do is I start looking at this. Okay. I start looking at this. I start looking at the ProTrader dashboard. I start loading it up, and I start seeing, and at the same time, I'm looking at my watch list that I gave you guys before the opening bell.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm doing is, so I'm doing it a little differently. I used to do it where I still see, I am still evolving, Raleigh. I'm still evolving after all of these years. Sometimes me taking a few days off or moving into a different office I need to step back a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
So I realized that I'm wasting too much paper, and I'm not using my picks as effectively as I could be using. So what I'm doing now is, you see how I'm drawing? I have a ruler. Yes, I actually have a ruler, and I draw about 6 lines across, about an inch each one. You can see them right here.
Okay. Yeah.
So the first 2 are my longs and shorts, and the middle one is the small caps from the morning. Okay.
Okay.
And then what happens is this. So after like remember I said this is now about 9:45, 9:55 around it's still not 10, but 10 I want to know because I want to be ready for a trade at 10 possibly. So what I do is I then start looking at all of these stocks and I start taking the ones I like from the morning list and transposing them to my afternoon list.
Okay.
Only the ones that are doing what I want them to do or what I think they're going to do after the market opens. Okay. So if you see a stock going from my morning list and I mention it again in the afternoon, there's a good chance that I really like that stock that much more because I converted it from the morning list to the afternoon list. And it's on the same page, so it makes it easy for me to see now.
So for your
So
morning list, Roger, what are you looking at to generate the morning list? Are you looking
the
at
morning list,
Pro
I'm
Trader
looking.
dashboard or are you
No, no,
looking at
no, no. I go right here. I remember the market is still closed. It's
yo, that's
when I generate the morning list, the market is closed. So I specifically every single day use stock fetcher. Stock fetcher right here,
okay.
and that's where
Very
I get my 90, I get my A lines, and I get my 90. My favorite scans are the 90-day high or low, the
okay.
A lines, the 50-day, the 20-week, and the 52-week. They're right here.
And
They're all
you've
right here.
coded Stock Fetcher to tell you exactly what you want to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, just so you guys know, I coded these uh 17, 18 years ago,
Okay.
and they have not changed. They have not changed. To show you how sophisticated I am or how I go with the times. Basically, the entire time I've known Raleigh, the entire time I've known Ken, and all of this time, I'm still using the exact same things I looked for years. And again, there's no rush because the market's closed. So you can start looking at these after the 15 minutes after the market closes, if you wanted to, if you want to get a head start. You know what I mean? But I look at them with you guys live. So between 7:30 and 8 o'clock is my prep time. That's when I write all the ones I like. And then I just move them over. And now I'm like, okay, I like this one. I don't like this one. I like it. And so instead of crossing it out and putting it on the next page, I just put it next to it. I write very sloppy. I'm not a good writer. I've been typing since I was a kid. So I have a doctor's penmanship. You can't read a word that I write. I don't know how my teachers read my essays in law school. I'm still shaking my
They
head.
gave you the benefit of the doubt.
Honestly, I used to ask them, I'm like, how the hell do you guys make sense out of anything I write? Anyways, uh, so I do that, and then as the day now the market's open. Now it's 9:45. Now
Right.
I'm looking live at the stocks that I gave you in the morning, and I'm now adding them to the afternoon watch list. Now, as I'm adding those stocks to the afternoon list, I'm telling people on Telegram channel in my private pit in the trading pit, hey, add this to your watch list. Add this to your watch list. Those are straight from my morning routine and what I'm seeing right now. So by this time, the Pro Trader dashboard is ready to go. And by that, so I turn it on, I scan the button, and now I'm now looking at 20 stocks from my morning right here. And
Okay.
after I find maybe three or four, sometimes more, sometimes less that I really like, I put them here. And if I really like them a lot, like right now, I'll put them in the pit as I'm watching this right now. It's on my watch list. Like I am not only did I like it this morning, but I'm liking it right now a lot. We just broke another leg down on the SPY. Um, and 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 I do the same thing for the long side, and I do the same thing for the short side. And that routine, I'm pretty much doing all morning till I see you guys here in the afternoon. The only thing I do in the afternoon is I add a couple of stocks to that list to beef them up. But that's what I'm doing. So after I look at my stocks that I gave you in the morning that I picked with Stock Fetcher. Now remember, the market's now open.
Right.
So I'm looking at these stocks between 9:30 and 10 o'clock. I'm looking at these stocks on a daily right here. I just want to see how they open. So in other words, here's my morning list, okay? STLD. So STLD was on my morning list. If this was 9:45 and the market opened and this was STLD right now, would I keep it on my list? No, I wouldn't
No.
keep it on my list. It's not it's here. I want it to be here. And again, it only takes me a minute. Like here's applied material. No, no. Assume it's 9:45 right now. The market's now open. No, but some of them may still look good. Like Google, if Google hits the 8-day right here, I'm actually going to put an alert on Google right now on the 8-day. Please excuse me.
And in that case, Roger, are you contemplating a swing or a day trade, or is it too early to tell at this point in time?
I am. This will be a swing.
Okay,
Anything. This is Matt's favorite trade. When you have a stock making a swing high and then coming down to the 8-day EMA, that's he loves those trades, and I do
okay,
too. I do too. I like them when they go up the 8-day or when they come down and stop right here. Those are
right
great
there.
trades. Those are great trades.
Perfect.
Those are 80% plus probability trades. If you know what you're doing, those are 80% because you're buying the option when it's cheap because it's been going down, but the stock on a daily is still very strong and it's still above the 8-day EMA. So we'll see. We're not there yet. Like, we need to come up here. So if I like a stock that was on my morning list, like Google, I will add it to my afternoon list. Happens to be that Google is the third stock on my morning list. I don't know if you guys could see it or not. It's right here, and it happens to be that Google is the last stock on my afternoon list because I still like it. So the first thing I do is I transpose all my morning stocks to the afternoon stock list based on the opening first 15, 20 minutes just to see where it is. Okay. And then I'll set some alerts on those things, or I just negate them and I start making a new list. Now, assuming I went through all of my stocks on my watch list from the morning, and usually it'll be three or four on each side, two, three, four. It takes me about 20 minutes. Now it's 10 o'clock. Now I got the Pro Trader dashboard. Okay. Now remember, I'm doing all this pretty quick, and I've been doing this every single day. So for me, this is very this is like, like you guys brushing your teeth in the morning. I don't even think about this. Okay. There's no thinking involved here. It's just the process. Looks like we may be bottoming out here. This is a reversal candle right here. Let's see, did we get an alert? Yep, we got an alert on Alpha Zone Pro right here. How did I know that? And momentum is overextended right now, by the way. So this is a very high probability entry, and we just got a signal right here. Again, I don't know if Matt's going to take the trade. I'm just telling you what Alpha Zone Pro is doing. Okay. So now we have this is Pro Trader dashboard. So now I press this button and I'm looking at it on a 5-minute basis. And for the next several hours, what I do is I pretty much have this dash right here, and these babies right here on top. So I have a lot of monitors, and what I'm doing all day is just this. What I'm doing all day is this right here, basically. Okay, and I'm just gonna see for you, IBM. And here I have the daily. So here's the intraday, here's the daily. Now, I really don't care about the intraday if the daily doesn't look beautiful. So let me just do this with you on a daily real quick. Let's just go through the strongest stocks. And by the way, if I wasn't here with you right now, I would be looking for a long. So let's look for some longs. PG, no, it's coming off the bottom. The 5-minute is beautiful, but I couldn't care less because the daily is a downtrend. We don't buy stocks in a downtrend. Okay. PG, no. RSG, no. Below the 50-day. NOC, below the 100-day, no. Ball, below the 50-day. V, nope. All of these are no way. MA, no way. V, no way. MasterCard and Visa, by the way, are being accumulated on a short term right now. SG, no. ECL, no. LNTH, no. We'll find one. EXAS. Oh, a little too uppity, a little too happy, a little too happy for its own good. GWW. No. Let's see. We're gonna go down a little further. We're gonna get down a little further right now. Moss. Tech. I need to find a good daily. That's a good daily, actually. Too much junk here, but that's a good daily. That's something. So, if it's below the VWAP, I would add this to my watch list. Okay, I wouldn't send anything on it, but I would add it to my watch list. So, okay, 8 GIG. HIG, Tech, WSC, no, APD, NDAQ, nope. GEHC. ProTrader's dashboard is telling me there are no long stocks right now that are being accumulated that look good, which is a good sign.
Yeah.
Protecting me. SHW, IDXX. Wow. I'm going to tell you something. That's a rarity. Okay. That's a rarity. Basically, all of these stocks that look good on a 5-minute basis, we got to get the daily to look good. We got to get the daily. A
And,
competency.
and Roger, is this where, you've told us over and over again that for you, a stock has to make sense initially as a swing trade before you
Yes.
consider day trading it. And that's what you're seeing here. You're going like, I
Yes.
wouldn't swing any of these.
No, I wouldn't swing any of this. That's exactly what I'm doing. I got to find the stock I'm looking for protection right now. See, you guys are looking to make money. I'm looking to protect your ass from yourselves by finding a swing stock, okay? By finding a swing stock. So none of these stocks are looking good. I mean, not one stock on the entire first page looks good. And usually by now I would have found 5. So that's telling us something. Oh, there we go. SQM. All right, SQM, it's still down on the day. I don't like stocks that are down on the day. Let's continue. Northram, nope. Huh. I'll be. That's a doozy. All right, okay, well, there we go. Well. Okay, we found the stock. There it is. The stock, and actually strong on the day. And if you look at it right now, it's above the VWAP. Let's put it on the ProTrader dashboard. Told you I'd find one. All right. So the ProTrader dashboard is telling us a few things. The stock is definitely stronger than the market. Okay. Definitely stronger than the market. We're right at the VWAP right now. Right. We want to be above the VWAP. It already had an entry signal. So if we buy this, we'd be buying it on a pullback to the upside. Based on what I'm seeing right here, I would not touch this stock with your money right now. No way. It's losing relative strength right now to the market. So I want stock that's picking up steam. So no longs right now. No longs right now for us. Let's try doing it. Let's try scanning it.
Roger, if you've just got a second, there are some folks that are saying, "Hey, Hershey looks good." HSY.
Right. Let's take a look. See. Let's take a look. See. Hershey's does not look good.
No.
And
I don't know what the basis for these are. And somebody says that AKAM, AKAM, looks good. And once again, please appreciate that Roger was looking at stocks that he was pulling off of his scanners, looking for long swings.
AKAM. Let's look at AKAM. No, it's below the VWAP. It's below the VWAP. So my point is this: right now, if I was looking at, it's 10 o'clock in the morning, I'm looking at my ProTrader dashboard, I would say we don't like the upside right now. I just refreshed it again. Let's see if we got anything else. Okay, I'll try this again. We got to try it on a daily. Okay, first it has to be on a daily, and then it has to be on an intraday. And I want the daily to look like this, and I want it to be above the VWAP, so you guys know what I'm looking for right now. Okay,
yeah,
so we're all on the same page. This is not like, according to Roger, this is pretty objective. Okay, roll. Actually, hey, not bad. See, sometimes refreshing it works pretty good. We on our first try. That's what I'm saying. It's pretty weird for it not to find something good. That's a good looking. Look at that. That's nice. That's nice. That's a good looking stock. That's something I would send my folks right now and say, hey, add roll to your long watch list to the long side. Now, would I take this right now? No, I'd probably wait for it to hit. I'm not in a rush. The market's breaking down. I'd probably wait for this to hit the VWAP. But that's a stock I would add to my watch list right here. Okay. Let's keep going. PG. Nope. Downtrend. Johnson Johnson. That is beautiful. Beautiful. It's very nice. Now, I wouldn't swing trade. Now, here's what I wanted to explain to you guys. See how the stock is stuck to the upper area right here?
Mm-hmm.
That's a great stock. That's a very, very strong stock. but I wouldn't day trade. But I wouldn't swing trade this stock. I would day trade it. But Roger, you said in the worst case scenario you would swing trade. I did. But my intent would be to day trade this stock, not to swing trade this stock. Okay, because it's already up here. If it was down here, then I would swing trade it. Uh, but I would add it to my list. I would definitely add it to my list because if this hits the VWAP, that's a nice low risk entry opportunity for you. And the fact that the stock is holding up so well, I can assure you it's being bought by institutions. All right. That's funny how we updated it and we found two stocks within 2 minutes.
Off the fresh scan, yeah.
Yeah.
And
MKC.
people are wondering, this is obviously a real-time scanner.
Oh, this
folks.
is about as real time as it's
Yep.
as real. And remember, things are moving fast right now for obvious reasons. GEHC. Nope. I mean, remember, the markets are going straight down right now. So, you got to give this thing a little break. All right. Sienna. On a daily, it looks great. On a 5-minute, I wouldn't want to buy this with anybody's money right now. Let's see. And by the way, this is okay. All it's telling us is, Roger, you should be looking at the short side. You remember, we haven't done the short side yet. Just looking at the long side. And the Pro Trader dashboard is basically telling us, hey, bud, you're looking in the wrong place. You're looking in the wrong place.
Right.
You understand? By the way, did we go long today? No, we went short today.
Short today.
Yeah. Let's see, KMB. No, these are all shorts. But let's look at the short side now. Let's have some fun with the short side, okay? Now, it's going to be hard to gauge stocks to the short side because everything is going down right now. So it's kind of hard, but we'll make use of it. Here's our list. If you guys want to make a screenshot of it, I'll just rerun this again real quick. Give us a fresh scan. And by the way, everything we don't finish today, we'll finish tomorrow. But I'm hoping you guys are getting value out of this? This is what I'm hoping for, is that you guys are actually getting value out of this. All right.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely, Roger.
All right. So let's see. Now, there's going to be a lot of shorts, okay? Oh, already at the 100-day, a little too late for the party. I did trade this one myself today, earlier. Too fast to call out for you guys. Nah, there's better ones. Cisco, no, not Cisco. I know what Cisco looks like. No. EYN, no. LKQ. Oh, what a beauty. That's a beautiful short right there. That is a beautiful short right there, my friends. Let's see. Moderna. Ooh, that's a short right there. IMVT. No, not yet. MBLY. Oh my. Oh my. Whenever you have the 5-minute and the daily looking the same, that's always a good short. Look at this stock. Now, who in their world would buy this stock right now? Right? That's definitely a short right there.
And I think you said earlier today, Roger, in the pre-market briefing, that when you see something like that, it's a signal that institutions are liquidating.
Yes. Look at this one right now. What we found like 4 out of 5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How about IP? Oh, ooh, that's very nice. That's a good looking swing right there. It's a nice looking swing short. It's not overextended. Now you want to see a short? That's a short right there. That's a short. Below the 100-day moving average. No support till about $38. Notice how easy it is to find shorts right now. Do you see what the Pro Trader dashboard is trying to tell us? CCEP. Oh yeah. Nice A line to the short side. Breaking down. Virtually every stock we look at. Nope, not that one. Oh, what a beauty. That's a nice one right there. The power of the Pro Trader dashboard. All right. So everything we didn't finish today, I gave you guys some really good examples of longs and shorts. So Now, folks, I am all day, Clyde and I, and Matt sometimes too, we're in a room called the pit, okay? And that's where we do all of these things. Like today, for example, let me show you the pit today. Let me give you a little idea of what happened in the pit today, okay? So that's a time spread. We're still in this trade. Add DDOG to your short. What? Look at the time. Look at the timestamp. See, it's 9:45. Add DDOG to your short watch list. Let's take a look at DDOG right now. I want to show you guys something right now. A little trick. Okay. I told you to look at DDOG at 9:54. 9:54. This is where I told you to look at DDOG. For the short side, I said add it to your short watch list. DDOG now is $8 cheaper. Not a bad watch list ad, huh, Raleigh?
Yeah, it's incredible.
Let's just go through this, folks, to show you the power of the pit, okay? Then I said add Spotify to your short watch list at 10 o'clock. Let's look at Spotify at 10 o'clock, shall we? Let's look at this apples to apples. Ooh, here's Spotify, Raleigh, at 10 o'clock. Right here. See the arrow?
Mm-hmm.
It was at 6:08. Spotify is $18 lower right now.
Lower right now.
These are the stocks that I add to my watch list. See? Right there at 10 o'clock. Add SE to your watch list, 10:05 in the morning. Well, let's take a look at SE and what happened to SE. Now, folks, everything I'm doing right now, I'm doing live in real time. This is not Monday back quarterbacking, right?
No, this is live.
10:05, right? Was it 10:05?
Yep.
Right here. I gave you SE right here. SE was at 136.50-ish. SE went down to 132, $4 cheaper than it is right now. Notice something interesting. How many longs have I given you to add to your watch list at 10 o'clock?
Mm-mm.
Now, again, we can all play Monday back quarterback, but this is not what we're doing here. We have a timestamp, okay? So you saw me talk live at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then now I'm giving you these stocks live. Have you seen the bleed on C and Spotify? Oy vey. Add COHR to your long watch list. See, finally, I'm adding a stock to my long watch list. Then I'm giving you a picture of where we are. And I say to you here, one of the reasons I'm being really patient with you today is because the market is gapped up, but didn't really go anywhere. That's 10:30 in the morning. I want to see what happens when we get out of this channel, either up or down. That's when we strike, right? Add IONQ to your short watch list. Let's look and see what IONQ did. I'm just kind of giving you the lay of the land so you can see what to expect from the pit. Right here. 11 a.m., right? At 11 a.m., IONQ was at 47. IONQ is at 43 right now. Okay. Now, how much would it be worth for you guys to have this information every single day while markets are open? Just think about it real quick. And then I finally, after all of that, it's now 11:05, and I'm finally okay. Go short MSTR. 182 fill for reference, and you obviously know that if you're taking a day trade, it's an option. It's 0.70 delta, 4 to 8 days till expiration. If you're swinging it, it would be 3 to 4 weeks. Right now, I wouldn't be swinging much. Here's your fill. Not sure if day trade or swing trade yet, but expect volatility. Got a couple of bananas here. I gave you a couple of bananas back. Took profit at 181. I'm out. I was in the trade for a total of 7 minutes. But I was nice enough to keep you updated on it. 180.70, 180.65. MSTR is now at 180 if you were too busy eating bananas. MSTR is now at 178. And then we're here in this room. And let's see what MSTR is doing since 11:05. Here is where you got the signal, 182. Remember 182? So? And we went to 175. Jason says it's priceless. It gives you a roadmap on stocks to be aware of in real time.
Yeah.
So now that you guys are trying to put a value on that, I'm going to do something very, very nice for you. And I'm going to give you a class that answers all of your questions about the pit so that you saw the value of the pit just in the last couple hours. Now, Raleigh, let me ask you a question. If
Yeah.
somebody was an astute trader and followed my advice today in the pit, do you think they would have made money or lost money?
They would have made money for sure. For sure. And there is, Roger, before we move on, I think Christopher asked a question that a number of people asked, and they were like, so Roger, it was wonderful that you showed us that these are stocks to put on the watch list. When does a watch list item become actual trade? Is that something that you're leaving to the individual or,
No, no, that's when I do this.
yeah,
That's when you get this. You get this.
right. And
You
so
get the,
based on all that, once again, MSTR, was that the one that you actually went short on,
yeah,
Roger?
short MSTR.
Right.
I'm
So
not
there,
adding it to my. Am I telling you to add anything to your watch list here? I'm giving you a short MSTR. I'm giving you a fill price. And I already explained to everybody if you want to do the option, it's always 0.70 delta.
yeah.
If you're day trading, point
No, I
40 to
think
point.
people were referring to the fact that earlier on in your lead, you're saying, hey, here's another stock to add to your watch list.
Yeah.
And so some people are going, does that mean I should take the trade? No. Okay. It's setting up, folks. Okay.
Yes.
Now, Roger, in all honesty, I know that there are people here that will independently act on that. And that's great. They can
And
do
they
that.
should. And they
And they
should.
should.
And they
Yeah.
should. And they should. And I'm walking you through here. Take profit. And I'm walking you. If you missed out, you could get out now. And I'm
Yep.
walking you through the entire trade.
And
And
just some
usually,
people will hold that as a swing, won't they, Roger?
yes, and usually the next day, I'll say if you missed your opportunity yesterday, you can get out now at a better profit. That
Yeah.
happens about 80% of the time, 90% of the time. Richard says, Roger, I think they may be referring to how to take it when it's ready. Yeah, I think I guess I don't know if Roger option takes 0.70, we're saying something else. If option take 0.70, no 0.70. That's what I was saying.
Yeah. 0.70 delta. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was saying that nothing from in the last 2 years since we've been doing this. Not one thing has changed. If we're swing trading, we go 3 to 4 weeks out. If we're or even further, and if you're day trading, you go 4 to 8 days out, and it's always delta 0.70. That's it. That's it. All right. There's no changes. There's no changes. There's no changes. Here, look. And here's how long it takes you to find it. Here, MSTR. Let's pull up the option chain. There's my deltas right here. Oh, look at this. 8 days out. Uh, 8 days out, and here's your deltas, and here's your options. And I show you every day how to do debit spreads on them here. And if you're swinging it, you can go right here, 30 days. Go right here. And there's your 70 delta right there.
Right there.
That's it. That's it.
Very simple rules.
Yeah.
And by and
Real
large,
simple.
folks, and Roger's going to get into this. We're about to move to a class where Roger's going to talk about the pit in great detail. But essentially, most of these trades, these are directional trades. You'll be buying a call or a put. Now, when Roger issues a bonus trade, he'll say, hey, guys, I want to take a spread on this. And he'll give you all the details on the bonus trades. Or it could be a time spread, or it could
Right.
be a diagonal spread. These are bonus trades. But by and large, the trades we're taking, these are directional. You're buying a call, buying a put, but that's a spoiler alert. We're going to be covering this in much more detail in the next section.
Exactly. All right. So on that, with that, and if you have any other questions, I'll gladly answer those questions for you. Just send me an email, roger@rogerscott.com. Now, if you're intrigued,